this as the background, I would request the speakers to kindly focus on these requirements of the conference with future in mind, and kindly come out with specific suggestions which could be discussed and taken forward. Would you like? Without further delay, I have pleasure in inviting Dr. May. Is she online? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Welcome, Dr. May. I have great pleasure in introducing Dr. May to the audience. Dr. May is she represents APSA, which is Asia and Pacific Seed Alliance, which works out of Thailand and is looking at supporting the seed sector in this region, in the Asia Pacific region. She is the latest, newest member of the APSA Secretariat. She's the executive director, and she began the role as deputy director in January. And Dr. May has a PhD in biotechnology from Mahidol University, and she brings to APSA a wealth of technical experience in biotechnology, plant breeding, and seed technology areas. In addition to working with the governments in the region, her main work and APSA's one of the main important works has been to strengthen the interactions with the seed industry and ensure that the business runs smoothly, safely, securely, and contribute to the national growth and wealth. Over to you, Dr. May.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vasudeva and Dr. Anansi for a great introduction. So here I would like just to share briefly about skill and knowledge development for future career in seed industry. I think our share has highlighted very well. Today, I just would like to share you some studies that also can enhance your knowledge and can guide also the idea on how the skills and the training should be developed for the future career in seed industry. All right, so as our share already introduced, I just would like to share a little bit more. Asia Pacific Seed Association, or right now our name is changed to Asia and Pacific Seed Alliance. Our mission is sustainable agriculture through the production and trade of quality seeds for the world. So by a glance, you can see that APSA is a regional seed association, so comprising of the members from 29 countries inside the region, 24 countries outside the region. And our main members, they are from the seed companies. And beside that, we also have government agency and national seed association, which in India, we have two national seed associations as our member. So our strategic plan is that we focus on the intellectual property rights, biodiversity, and genetic resources, phytosanitary, which is very important for seed trade, innovation in agriculture, which we are talking a lot about in this conference, I believe. And the last one is also very important, is public and private partnership. So before I go to the, the recommendation on the skill and development, I just would like to bring the study done by OECD. So OECD has done the survey to more than 22,000 people around the world, covering 33 countries. And so they said they did the survey with a group of the people ranking from 16 to 65 years old. And so here, there are so many angles of the study. I put the reference here for if you're interested to learn more about this study. So in here, this is the study from the adult that take the exam relating to the numbers, or they call numeracy proficiency levels. And one side, the blue side is high skill, and the green and red is low skill. You can see that this is the proportion that they calculate per population of the country. And the top 5, you can see here, are Japan, Finland, Sweden, Netherlands, and Norway. And so in this figure, I think it's very easy for us to really see the linkage between high skill workers that can contribute to a success in terms of the social economy of the country. You can see the top 5 and also the lowest 5. Lowest 5, of course, are Ecuador, Peru, Mexico, Chile, and also Turkey. Okay, the study also bring another factor into the skill development. They also take the survey in terms of the literacy or literature from the same group of the responders. You can see that in here, the data show that the educational attainment ranked the highest among other factors, followed by age and immigrants, when we talk about the difference in terms of the literacy score. What does it mean here? So it means that first, if you can see the gender has no meaning, when it's come into learning process. Parents' education, of course, has of course, contribute to the factor of learning, but more importantly is the educational attainment. And so it means that it's really important that the skill and proficiency should be developed since the young age, so that they tend to have a good engagement in terms of the long life training for the adult. The study also, they put the linkage between labor market and social economies. Here, of course, the study suggests highly that better skilled workers are more likely to be employed in some countries that they had done the survey, but in most countries, they found that high skilled workers tend to earn higher wages and have better social incomes. And so here, there are 3 points that I think that this is very interesting. And, these points, we can bring it to develop into the training courses, especially for the students who are studying agriculture. We need to make sure that they have right skills in order to perform the job, so we don't end up with the mismatched skill of the workers. You can see that they put also the recommendation in here. Very interesting view also from another report from collected by OECD. This is what they study is the risk of automation replacement. So for me, when I look into this figure, you can see that regardless of the types of the job, okay, you will see that the bar chart or the proportion that is shown very different between 2 groups that can be replaced by automation versus the group that are unlikely to be replaced by automation. And the skills that are required are problem solving, teaching, I would say also influencing, communication, planning, advising, or mentoring. So I believe that this already the skills that we need to make sure that we equip to our young generation also. So when they, when they also have a good knowledge in the job. So if the skills and the knowledge match together, you will have, I would say, you would have a high talented workers that can go to the seed industry. All right, when we talk about the career in seed industry, this is the figure that I draw to make the linkage of all the stages that we have in the seed industry. All right, so on top of all processes, of course, quality management system is very important, and it is very important that the students or the university should actually teach the students also who work in agriculture, what does it mean when we talk about cuteness, and the skill and the knowledge that required for the specific job in the seed industry. We can divide it into breeding, seed production, seed processing, and storage, And for training in commercial, we see that this is require another skill type. You know, it can be, does not mean that you need to graduate directly from the agriculture to be able to do the seed trade or commercial. But for the skill set that you need to have in order for you to be successful when you work as breeders or seed producers and also seed technology, is very crucial that you get the right knowledge when you study in the university, and also even when you are working in the seed industry. All right, here, this is the figure show about the seed export value and volume. This is reported by SF in 2019. On my left-hand side is the top 5 global seed exporter. If you see the list of the countries, and if you remember the report that I showed you in the previous slides, you can see the correlation between the high skilled worker also with the top global seed exporters. And when we talk about the top 5 Asian seed exporter, you can see that India is #1 already, the seed exporter in terms of the volume, but in terms of the value, India is #2 after China. So I think India has very good position already. And if you would like to, even improve the skill and the knowledge of the next generation who will go to the seed industry, I believe that India will become, it can be very competitive position even for the global seed exporter. In APSA, I just would like to share so many ideas that we have done and also we are going to do in this year. We also conduct a survey on breeder training courses and seed technology training courses. We have trained a trainer program for plant-based right. This one is very special program. I think, like ATPPR also can develop a program similar to this. This one, we add also the communication skill into the course so that, we build the trainer so that that person who already complete the course, they need to carry the knowledge and teach to the employees in their company. We also have APSA University Connect program and APSA Seed Academy program. So APSA Seed Academy program is an online courses or online platform that we will have the live session and also on the record of the webinars post on that platform. So I will not go through all these slides, but I have all the information for you. I believe that the ATPBR can share all this on my slides with all the delegates. So you can see as an example, and perhaps it's useful for you to develop the training courses. Just in short, this platform, anyone is welcome to collaborate with APSA as we are going to set this platform to be, the platform to develop the next generation of seed industry people. So we plan to link with so many courses. So, and perhaps this is the possibility that we can work with ATPBR as well. And I think that's it for my presentation. And I think that, most important soft skills for career in seed industry are problem solving, planning, IT, of course, critical thinking, and teaching. The training platform, I think this one is, depending on what kind of the course or the job scope that you would like to build in your course. Like, for example, if the course is for breeders, for seed quality lab, seed production and seed technologists, of course, they prefer hands-on training. For the training topics, it should be linked with the scope of the job, and very important that you add updated technologies and also the policy relating to that job into the course. Lastly, of course, very important that we should have very good example of the trainer who actually has the hands-on experience or direct experience in the from his or her field of work into the training course. And that's all for my on my side. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Dr. May, for that very brief but excellent presentation. I think it carried a lot of messages. You covered a wide canvas of the subject of skill and skill development for plant breeding and seed sector in the APSA region. there are quite a number of points that you made about skill profiling across various countries. That indicates that there are countries which are low in skill, high in skill. And why that is coming up is a matter of academics, but what is important is that those countries low in scale needs to be developed further. And then you also talked very interestingly about skill linked to knowledge, and there should be a match between the two. Of course, all the educational system gives a lot of knowledge, but then skill is a separate thing from knowledge, which only comes through practice and learning with others who are equally skilled. And you touched upon the threat of automation, which may reduce the development of skills in human beings. Well, that could be one thing which may need to be kept in view for future. And the other thing very important you touched is about the skill and knowledge required for career in seed industry. Often skill and knowledge is looked at with reference to a job requirement, but career requirement is something which is the chain of jobs that we go through defines our career. Career is a much longer perspective for the human being, and a good career is something which everyone who is working for any organization will be looking for as a personal benefit for his growth and development. So this is something that is very important that you have brought out, defining what, there are a lot of skills which help an individual to do a job better, but those skills which facilitate the growth and career development is very, very important aspect, because these are the people who do well, irrespective of what job they do, which organization they serve, whichever country they are in, they do well. So these skills are slightly different, and they lead to sustainability of one's own career. And then finally, very happy to learn that APSA is planning to launch e-platform for learning, and very soon, May 2022 is hardly any distance away in time. So thank you very much. And would you like to stay on?
She's there till 4 o'clock, our time.
Our time, 4 o'clock?
Another 45. You are there for another 45 minutes, Dr. May?
You are correct, Dr. Sharan. Yes.
So hello, Dr. May.
Hello, Dr. Sharan.
And very nice to see you here. And
Thank
thanks
you, sir.
for joining us for this virtual conference and giving your inputs. As Dr. Rao was saying, we are very impressed that you are trying to link the skill with the knowledge. That's what at ATPBR we are trying to do. And you made another important point that the trainers should be well trained themselves first. So this comes more from our initiative, because we all who joined the private sector after about 15 to 20 years of experience with the public sector, we learned things by our own trial and error methods. There were no properly organized training sessions or training organizations or academies to train us. So we felt the need, we felt the gap. So that's the reason we have made this initiative. An idea of starting this session is to take the input from people regarding the real needs or requirements. Like you mentioned, I think APSA, I know you have been doing a great job. You've already done a skill requirement survey that you also shared with us. And we have also indicated our interest to join hands with you in promoting the proper plant breeding knowledge. So in that context, I would like to compliment you for the good job you are doing. And as ATPBR, and you also mentioned, agriculture doesn't mean only R&D and breeding. It has other aspects. So based on that, there are 2 or 3 more panelists, and one more is presenting from biotechnology side. She is also making a virtual presentation. So what we will try to do at the end of this session, you are here till 4, we are glad. I know you have an engagement after 4, you are please free to go. But then we will keep you posted about the proceedings, what we have done, how we are taking it ahead. And we are looking at the options of doing it across the knowledge, skills and centers. It's not only plant breeding, it's not only agriculture, because here we are at an institute where A lot of information technology is there, biotechnology is there, engineering is there. So we have all the students who are participating. We also would like to know their minds as what they would like to have. So looking to their requirement, maybe as ATPBR, we may not be able to look into those aspects, but we will try to involve the relevant sectors, relevant people in those activities that could benefit the student community also in the larger interest. So those are the aspects I just wanted to mention to you. Thank you very much once again for joining this session and making time for this. So please be with us. Please be part of the discussions now till your time to attend another engagement comes. Thank you very much, May.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Before we take up any questions for Dr. May, is she still there?
Hello, Dr. May.
Yes, yes, I'm here.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, we may have a few questions from students. If they can ask, I can also moderate, or Dr. Rao can do it. So please, students, please go ahead and ask your questions.
Before that, if Dr. Sanjay Sahu is here, can you please come on the stage and take your seat amongst us? Are there any questions for Dr. May?
Please ask, because you are the future. Because we also talk of training future plant breeders. We also talk of training future scientists, future technologists. I think we must know what areas you need to be trained in. Do you need some hand holding, or do you need some hands-on expertise? Please do ask her.
And one thing for students to know is these skills, though you may learn it from seed sector or from plant breeding, these are portable. You know, this is the wealth that you create inside yourself for becoming a better person who can do a job better or achieve a better career. So it doesn't matter which sector you learn from. So please, if you have any doubts, any suggestions, please do ask at this point of time to Dr. May.
Yes.
Sir,
please.
My question is, can APSA facilitate training programs in practical seed production across the APAC countries, say production personnel from India to China, or Chinese to India, or from India to New Zealand, because some of the crops are specifically grown in those countries. And this might help in skill development further, as well as developing new production areas for new crops. Thank you.
Did you get that question, Dr. May?
Yes, very, very good questions. I like this. At least he has an idea on seed trade, and so definitely, based on your question, yes, we are having the course, or even we are going to do the webinar, and the focus is not only the production. We have, well, there are two things that you are talking about. One is the seed production practices based on the crop type, as you mentioned. So that I believe that we in APSA, we have so many members in different countries that you mentioned. We can, of course, if we would like to have that kind of webinar, right now we put that kind of support under APSA University Connect program. So we can even set that up as the webinar for the students, and you can learn also about the crop that produced in different countries. But very important that I think you need to learn is also the importance of the regulation, the framework on how the seed is moved around the world, and how to say the technicality of the seed movement from one country to another country, starting from the breeding. Like, for example, how can you access the genetic resources? How can you use that as a breeder to build the new developed variety? And what is your right after you get the new variety developed? And then how can you, trade the seeds across the countries? So all the things that you mentioned, definitely we will take that as a suggestion from the student. and we will offer the course in our online platform.
Thank you, Dr. May. Any other questions, please? If not,